All right, 9:30 p.m. Get your starter, put it in a nice fresh jar with 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water. That's a 1:1:1 ratio. Keep in mind, this is the first step of a 2-day process to actually bake the loaf of bread. Mix it up. It's going to look kind of thick, like this. Leave it overnight, it'll double. All right, 7 a.m. the next morning, in a medium bowl, add 900 grams of bread flour and then 100 grams of wheat flour. Put that aside, and in a large bowl, you're going to weigh out 200 grams of your starter that you made from last night. Then add 700 grams of lukewarm room temperature water, on the warmer side a little bit. And now you're going to mix it well, but gently, so there's no clumps. And then you're going to add the 2 flours to the water and starter mixture. Keep in mind, it's going to look really clumpy and dry like this, but it's okay, guys. It will get better. Cover it with a towel, place in the oven with the light on for 30 minutes. All right, measure out 20 grams of fine sea salt and 50 grams of lukewarm room temperature water. Okay, add the salt to your water, mix it up. I'm sure you could just dump it right in, but I like to do it this way. Pull out your dough and add the salty water to it and mix this baby up. Cover it back up with a towel and leave it in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, guys, time to start folds. So you're going to fold every half an hour for 2.5 hours. So this is how you're going to do it. You're going to pull up one side. That's stretch and fold number 1. Go all the way underneath, stretch and fold side 2. Turn your bowl underneath there, stretch and fold side 3. And then get underneath the last, stretch and fold side 4. Cover it up and then back in the oven for 30 minutes. Okay, so I fast forwarded to show you all the times that I did my folds. I think I might have missed one that I recorded, but my times ended up being, by the time I did folds, 11:20, 11:50, 12:20, 12:50, 1:20, 1:50, and finally the last fold was at 2:20 p.m. And then after that last fold, 4 sides, just like this, 2, 3, 4, I put it into the large plastic container that I have for it to rise on the counter, covered for at least 4 to 6 hours, or until it's completely doubled. In my case, from the mark I have here, it literally goes to the tippy top. All right, time to check out that rise. Whoa, look at that. See my mark there? It is definitely doubled, if not more. You're going to dump it out on lightly floured surface. Might need like a little push there like I did in the video, but it should slide out pretty quickly and easily once you get it going. Little side note, I dumped out my dough at 7 p.m. I had originally put it in this container at 2:20 p.m. after our last fold. Now you just cut it in 2 equal halves. Okay, this is where I do my last 4 folds of the dough before putting in the fridge overnight. This time you're going to go side to side, left to right, top to bottom with the dough, not in a circle like we did in the bowl. As you see, I started on one side, opposite side, across from each other. You're going to go underneath. I use a scraper to help me get under there, pull, fold over, and then you pinch off the seams like I'm doing in the video. Pinching off the seams helps the dough close off a little better and become a little ball. Then I started at the bottom there, pinch off the seams, then opposite side at the top, use that to get under there. It's going to be a little sticky. This part will be a little harder. You're going to have to stretch and kind of fold it over. It's normal to have some bubbling around it when you get to this point. I just squeeze the bubbles, pinch them closed, pop them, pinch all the seams. And then you're gonna flip it over. And then this part, I'm going fast forward, but I use my scraper to roll it around, close the seam off at the bottom to form this pretty little ball. And then you're gonna flop it into your basket or bowl, seam side up, just like this. Sprinkle a little flour on top, and then you could either cover it with the plastic or you can put a regular clean kitchen towel over top and put it in the fridge overnight. All right, I took the dough out 7 a.m. the next morning to sit on the counter while I preheat the oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit with the Dutch oven in it to heat up. And then get a piece of parchment paper out, uncover your dough, and with the seam side that we had on top, you want the seam side to be put down onto the parchment paper. All right, this is where I start my cuts. I'm using a bread razor, or lame, I think it said. Lame. Anyway, it's essentially the fancy word for a handle with a razor blade at the end. As you can see, this dough looks a little sticky when I do my cuts. It might mean I need to put a new razor on, but I probably don't because I'm really not putting much pressure here. I think it's just this dough this time around is a little stickier than my other doughs where it cuts a little nicer. But either way, it got the job done. I like doing this design. It's my go-to, but you could easily look up any designs. Super easy, super pretty. All right, so you're going to take your Dutch oven base out of the oven, transfer your dough over to the base, and then cover it up. In the oven it goes. You're going to reduce the heat now to 450 for 23 minutes with the lid on. Moment of truth here. Woo! She's a beauty. So you're going to take the lid off and you're going to bake again at 450 for another 17 minutes. Here is the final product, guys. She's pretty. And I didn't get a video of me cutting into it, but light, airy, full of bubbles, and freaking delicious. Thanks for watching. I'll try to make another video. Okay, moment of truth. So pretty. Okay, so uncovered now, back in the oven for 17 minutes. This is the final product after it's baked another 17 minutes and got crispy, crispy golden. Beautiful.